Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Good Tuesday morning to you all. I hope you guys are doing well out there this morning and having a fantastic start to your day. And I certainly hope you folks had a very Merry Christmas. I know for me and my family, once we get after Christmas Day, it's kind of getting back to the swing of things, back to the routine of things. I know a lot of people stay into that holiday mode all the way through New Year's, and that's cool. I know a lot of people do that. Some people have this entire week off all the way up to New Year's Day. But for me, I know as a person, I work a lot better when I'm on my normal routine. Of course, it's awesome to take a break, especially during the holidays and on vacation, but I certainly personally work the best when I'm just back to a normal routine of things. But Christmas period is always awesome. You folks know that. I talk about it a lot when we start to get close to it. I decorate really early, celebrate it hardcore all the way to Christmas Day. But to me, it's like once you get past Christmas, you certainly start to shift back to a normal mindset. So I'm definitely happy to get back to that. But I hope you folks are doing well out there this morning and got some weather to talk about for you guys. We're going to give you some updated information about what's going to happen weather-wise for today. We'll give you some new information about what's going on right now with this storm system in the middle of the country. We're going to give you some updated information about this chance for some mid-south snow. Tennessee, surrounding states could see a little bit of snow action. Not a huge event at all. I don't want to make you guys think it's going to be, but it could be a light, maybe a moderate event for someone, especially maybe the mountainous regions. We'll give you some updated information about this weekend for the Northeast, as this could turn into a winter weather event. We know we're going to get a lot of rain, but it could turn into a winter weather event as we get to the end of this week into this weekend. And then we were watching another storm system closer to New Year's, which is really right around the corner, right? And then, New Year's Eve through about the 2nd of January, we got to watch this system to the south that could deliver a surprise for someone. And there's a storm signal after that, too. But remember I told you guys we were going to break down this pattern, figure out if it really was coming. We know it's coming. All right, and now we have a lot of energy flying around. This energy is beginning to kind of consolidate for certain time periods, and now we can really talk about it. It's kind of like what we do with hurricane season. We kind of talk about areas of interest, and then we really start to get detailed on these areas of interest until they become tropical storms and hurricanes. So it's kind of like the winter weather season too. We're kind of doing the same thing. So with that being said, if you folks have not subscribed, certainly consider doing that. Like the video if you like it. Take advantage of those timestamps in this video if you're not worried about what's going to happen weather-wise for today or this system or that system. They will be there for you folks to help you. And if you guys got anything that I can pray about or pray over, as always, please put them in the comments below so I can pray over it, as some others can do so too. Let's get rocking and rolling this morning. We got rain falling across the southeast, even the mid-Atlantic. Just rain up here in the UP of Michigan, areas of Wisconsin, Minnesota. You got to get way up into Canada before you get into any kind of winter weather, and it's not the winter weather anybody likes. It's ice. And we're still getting moisture thrown back into the Dakotas in the form of snow, freezing rain, some sleet. And check out this wraparound where this upper level low is really getting going. And we're getting snow potentially all the way down to northern Oklahoma. Now, you folks got to let me know if any of this is hitting the ground. I would argue it might not be. But let me know if you're seeing any flurries or light snow in the panhandle of Oklahoma or Texas or northwest Oklahoma. Definitely some snow flying around in Kansas and Colorado, where there's on and off blizzard conditions, where we still have ongoing blizzard warnings. A little bit of moisture entering the northern Rockies. There'll be some snow flying around Idaho today for sure. So yeah, that's what's going on right now. Some heavy moisture off the coast of East Florida. So moving forward, talking about this. The Storm Prediction Center, need to slow down a little bit, talking a million miles per hour. There's a general risk of thunderstorms from southeast Georgia, the eastern coastline of Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, all the way up into West Virginia, even southeast Ohio. Nothing severe expected, but there could be enough lift, kind of oomph in the atmosphere, if you will, for some thunderstorm activity with some of this moisture. Not a big deal at all, though. Excessive rainfall outlook. There is a slight risk. I could see this getting extended down to the upstate of South Carolina, but that means there's at least a 15% risk of flash flood guidance being met within 25 miles in any given location in this yellow area. Marginal risk surrounding that. So we could get multiple inches of rain in this area today for sure. So we'll watch out for that. Could have some flash flooding, especially up against these foothill regions and higher elevations, the mountains of North Carolina, South Carolina. Watches, warnings, advisories. Blizzard warnings continue in the red color. Winter weather advisories have now been extended almost to Kansas City. But I do think you guys will see some snow flying around later on today in Kansas City, eventually maybe even to St. Louis, and certainly The rest of Missouri, I think, has a chance to see some winter weather advisories issued later on today. Ice storm warnings continue in the purple color right up here. Wild seeing an ice storm up here in the Dakotas. Winter storm warnings in the pink. So a lot going on still in this portion of the country. Winter weather advisories up for the Pacific Northwest. Some high wind warnings, watches, wind advisories. A lot of fog in southern New England. And we got the flood watches up where a lot of rain is expected between now in the next 24 hours. It's raining right now in the upstate of South Carolina, western areas of North Carolina, I do believe. So, we're going to get a lot of rain in these areas today. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the southeast. Lift, all this rain is kind of getting pushed up against this higher terrain of North Carolina, upstate South Carolina, even North Georgia. So this lift is going to provide more lift for more rain in these areas. So we're going to get rain pushed up directly from the south to the north up against these higher elevations. So we're getting into this afternoon. We're around 2 p.m. at this point. Rain showers continue. Even some heavier rain, some thunderstorms continue to push into areas of eastern Georgia, especially upstate South Carolina. Rain down near the coast too. A lot of heavy rain here in western North Carolina. Rain getting into western Virginia. Raining in eastern Kentucky, far eastern Tennessee. And it could get pretty heavy this afternoon and this evening. Look at this heavy rain right here. Kind of just northwest and west of Hickory. Shelby, North Carolina. Some rain in Asheville, Greenville, Spartanburg area. And kind of down here in South Carolina, just kind of like how it was yesterday. Just on and off rain in the afternoon, just all day pretty much. And this continues into the overnight hours and waking up tomorrow morning and still raining in areas of the Carolinas, up here in Virginia. Area of very heavy rain kind of surging through central Virginia. Here comes our upper level low entering the picture. We'll talk about that here in a second. Rainfall between now and just the next 24 hours, guys. I mean, 1 to 2 inches of rain in the Greenville, Spartanburg area, Gainesville region, Georgia, inch and a quarter. Asheville could get an inch of rain. Up here in Boone, Banner Elk, couple inches of rain, just rain. No winter weather with this. Hickory, a couple inches of rain. Charlotte, 1 to 2 inches of rain. Area in the PD, 1 inch to an inch and a half of rain. And certainly out here in the coastal plains of North Carolina could certainly get, a half inch to 3/4 of an inch of rain. Same thing for Columbia, Augusta region. Even Atlanta could see a little bit more rain this morning. So up here in the northeast, rain will continue to get more widespread in the mid-Atlantic. We stop it here. It's around lunchtime. And we got rain pretty much taking over most of West Virginia. Some areas will still remain dry through midday. Light rain beginning to overspread into Virginia. We've already talked about eastern Kentucky. We got some sprinkles riding up into Ohio. I think we'll get some more rain and around the Dayton and Columbus area that begins to make its way into Ohio this afternoon. This is just rain. A lot of warm air with this system. Rain's overspreading the western half of PA, western Maryland, western areas of New York State, the Finger Lakes region, southern tier area. We get into overnight tonight, and rain is really overspreading eastern areas of Ohio, pretty much all of PA, all of West Virginia. Rain's moving into southern Ontario. We got just rain showers, Vermont, New Hampshire, and some snow begins to fall in extreme northern areas of Maine. And I think this could be the beginning stages of a winter weather event. You guys might have some winter weather advisories issued a little bit later today in this area. Who knows, maybe a winter storm warning if this increases. But you're waking up tomorrow morning, your 27th. Good old-fashioned rain here in PA, Maryland. Rainy conditions in Washington, D.C., Baltimore. Raining probably in Scranton, State College, areas of Pittsburgh. Raining through Buffalo, Rochester, Watertown, Syracuse. Raining as we're waking up tomorrow morning. We got rain, even some areas of heavy rain in sections of Michigan. How much rain could fall just between now and the next 24 hours? It really begins to increase in the second half of the 24-hour period. So really into tonight, this evening, into the overnight hours, rain begins to really accumulate in these areas. I don't know if you would call this a washout, but this is just going to be a steady light to moderate rain in these areas. So if you keep this going into Wednesday, rain starts to add up further northeast as this system continues to move. Now, moving into the south central U.S., we do have a lot of light to at times moderate snow flying around in Kansas, certainly in Colorado, where it's been snowy last 4 to 5 days up here. But here comes this upper level low that digs down, moisture associated with it. About midday today, we're going to have just on and off snow showers, snow flurries flying around Kansas. And then as we're getting into this evening, Kansas City being right in here, we're going to probably have a period of at least light snow. Maybe just some flurries, maybe even some burst of heavier snow is very possible in Kansas City. This could put a dusting on the ground, maybe half an inch of snow, maybe more. We'll see. And you still got back-end energy. Snow is still flying around back here in Colorado, western Kansas, southwest Nebraska. But, you keep watching. You keep your eye on this upper level low right here, this L. It's low pressure. And, we're starting to get into about the middle of the night at this point. Let me keep this time area right here in view. And we have rain, snow showers making its way. Still a pretty warm system, but these upper level lows bring their own cold air. We discussed this in great detail last night. Rain, snow showers in central Missouri. It's still a possibility for just on and off snow showers in Kansas City overnight. You're starting to get into the Columbia, Missouri region. Some snow. Rain could begin to switch to snow, and then, we're waking up tomorrow morning, and guys, we have some rounds of moderate, maybe at times heavy snow kind of pushing through Missouri, kind of wrapping around this upper level low. St. Louis could see it tomorrow morning. We'll talk more on this here in a second, but this is kind of the final frame of the next 24 hours, and I think we'll have some light snow accumulations piling up for our Wednesday morning in Missouri, and it's still, it could snow on and off later this evening into the overnight hours in Kansas City all night. It's just not going to be a huge event, just on and off snow showers. But snow between now and the next 24 hours, you can see kind of the wraparound moisture from the leftovers of this blizzard, adding additional snowfall accumulations. Denver could get maybe an inch or two of snow off this. It's crazy how far west this is pushed. And just banding, we'll continue to watch, another several inches of snow in some areas pile up in western sections of Nebraska. Even a few more inches of snow in northwest Kansas, certainly northeast Colorado, and even some snow in southwest areas of Wyoming will add up today, for sure. But then you see this little blob right in here. Okay, I know it's pretty small on your screen, but this is what could fall. Let's see here we go. This is what could fall with the upper level low all the way through about 7 a.m. tomorrow. And Kansas City right in here, the blend of all models going for an inch of snow. And I think that's possible, guys. I do. I think winter weather advisories will get pushed into Kansas City sometime later today, even into Missouri. And, if you were to keep this going, and we'll get a closer look at this here in a minute when we talk about this, but, you take it all the way through Thursday morning, so this takes us all the way through the day tomorrow, and just dusting to half-inch to even inch amounts. I think this upper level low could make the grass white in a lot of areas in Missouri over the next 48 hours. So we'll speak more on that in a second from my folks who live in Missouri that are interested in this event. But the north central U.S., a lot going on. Kind of the last really big day of this storm system. Ice storm will be ongoing in North Dakota and sections of South Dakota. Just rain in Minnesota, just rain in the UP and Michigan through mid-morning. And then some cold air might try to push in, but I think most of the day it's just on and off sprinkles in the UP areas of northern Wisconsin. And still snow getting wrapped all the way back into the Dakotas over here. And then we're getting into this evening, getting to the overnight hours, and then some cold air could get pushed up against some of this moisture, could get some flurries flying around, some light snow in the Minneapolis area as we're waking up tomorrow morning. Just rain in northern Michigan. But this thing really begins to wrap up, and I think tomorrow morning we could see some snow flying around the southern counties of Iowa with this upper level low that could throw just enough moisture up to you folks. So how much more snow between now and the next 24 hours? Well, we kind of already showed you this, but here it is again. Another several inches of snow could pile up. Black Hills region, another several inches of snow for sure. And just in this area. This has been a wild event. I haven't heard a lot about this event from folks out here. I would love to know if you're tuning in how much snow your area has got. I've not seen a lot of pictures or videos of the ice up here too. But it's saying another 1/4 inch to 3/10 of an inch of ice could pile up in areas of kind of eastern and kind of east central and southern sections of North Dakota today, even northern South Dakota. Another 2/10 to 3/10 of an inch of ice. Some areas even showing 4/10 of an inch of ice. So more ice will pile up here in a glaze up here in northern Minnesota. So please be careful. Western U.S., it's pretty quiet out here. We'll watch the leftovers of this system from Christmas Day moving to Idaho throughout the morning, and this will deliver some light snowfall accumulations as you just saw. Then we get into this afternoon. Another system will bring some rain this evening for areas of northwest Oregon and western sections of Washington State. So this could bring a little bit of rain, later tonight for, areas of Seattle. And then another bigger system starts to greet you guys to start your Wednesday morning, and we'll speak more on that in the next video. But Snowfall in Idaho, areas of Oregon, not a lot. I mean, somebody might squeeze in 2 inches of snow from this in the higher elevations, but not a big event at all. Temperatures, warm in the southeast today, but it's going to be rainy, kind of, I wouldn't say humid, but there's definitely moisture in the air. But I mean, you got a surge of warmer temperatures all the way up into, Ohio, where it'll be well above average. Temperatures could reach 60 degrees in certain sections of Ohio, even western West Virginia, eastern areas of Kentucky. There is a cool shot of air moving in with this upper level low cold front. That's why areas of Mississippi, Alabama are cooler than like Georgia and the Carolinas. It'll just feel more like January today in these areas. Typically kind of average around average temperatures. Northeast, well above average. You're definitely thawing out if you got any snow left on the ground at all. I mean, warm. It'll probably hit 50 degrees. It'll try to hit 50 degrees around Buffalo, Rochester. So you can see the pocket of cooler air where there's snow on the ground. But I mean, even for the middle of the country and here in the northern plains, this is still above average temperature-wise for some of these areas. I mean, for some, it's around average and maybe slightly below average just because you got all this snow on the ground with the system in place. But, I mean, you don't have to get far south to start to get into some warmer temperatures, 40s and 50s. You're definitely cooler today in Texas with this upper level low. And then here's the rest of the western U.S. It's definitely a warmer system moving into the Pacific Northwest overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. So let's talk about this upper level low. We gave you very detailed information in last night's video. We'll do it again in this video, but we are in range of the latest long range HRRR model. We kind of talked about this. We talked about what would happen this evening into the overnight hours, and we'll stop it right here. Look at this heavy snow falling as we're waking up tomorrow morning in Missouri. Northern Missouri, this could very well be a little bit further south. Columbia, Missouri could be getting some snow. You see this band right here, St. Louis right into here. You got a band of rain-snow mix. Is this going to be mainly rain, mainly snow, somewhere in between? But you can see the little gnarly spin. I'm going to be interested in what this looks like on radar tomorrow. Snow falling in Kansas City. If you keep this going, okay, can you switch to a burst of moderate to heavy snow in St. Louis sometime tomorrow? I think it's possible. But you start to see some rain showers show up in western Tennessee, just areas of the Mid-South, Mississippi Valley. And you start to get into tomorrow evening, getting into the overnight hours. And this is as far out as it goes. But you got this area of snow in the middle of the night tomorrow night flying around in areas of kind of east central, southeast central, if that's even a thing. Missouri. This is making its way to the boot heel. And you're already starting to see some snow showers and flurries kind of flying around here in western Kentucky, even northeast, like around the Dyersburg, Tennessee area. A little bit of snow flurry activity, snow shower activity in the Ozarks. I think it's very possible Springfield, Missouri could get some snow from this. I don't think it's a huge event. But you can tell, here's the southern stream energy right here, northern stream energy, upper level low. I would call this more so an upper level low than northern stream energy. I know I've called it that many times in the videos, but you got energy here, energy over here. They're not going to meet to become a bigger system. Even if they did, there wouldn't be a whole lot of cold air involved anyways. But this is the last frame of the HRRR model. If you were to keep this going and looking at the NAM, same thing. There's the snow spinning around and Missouri, and even, western sections of Illinois. This is trending a little bit away from you folks, but western sections of Illinois, as you're getting into tomorrow evening, could get some snow. Does it make it all the way to Peoria? I don't think so, but we'll see. It very well could. But, I mean, as we're getting into the wee hours of the morning, Thursday morning, you got snow flying around in southern Illinois, some snow in Evansville and southern Indiana. A little bit of snow action flying around. Even some snow already showing up in the Cumberland Plateau off the NAM. Don't know if this is going to happen the way it's showing, but we'll see. And then, we get to the final frame. Just some light snow flying around in Indiana, northern Kentucky, some snow showers, flurries flying around in Kentucky. And you're thinking, what's going on in Tennessee? Well, if this was to keep going, 3 km NAM only goes out 60 hours. This will probably show more moisture down here in Tennessee. But this only goes out 60 hours. And you even got some snow showing up in Oklahoma over here, too. But if you look at the latest GFS, guys, when we go past 60 hours, here we go. One thing I'll tell you right at the dot, the GFS is much different than the NAM. GFS at around 60 hours out, like kind of Thursday evening, it doesn't have any snow over Indiana. Has, a nice little burst of snow around the St. Louis area. Dives this down, you got energy everywhere. Energy here, energy there. And waking up Friday morning, we're waking up to snow in West Virginia, kind of the start of kind of a wintry weekend. Snow and just the Southern Appalachian Mountains. And you got this other area of kind of light snow making its way. This is probably in the form of some snow flurries, snow showers. It's even showing it from Memphis, Dyersburg. I mean, getting into these areas, certainly, Clarksville? I know the area that got hit by the tornado a couple weeks back. Snow flying around Missouri for Friday morning. And to keep this going, if it will get going for me, here we go. And this turns into an all-out snowstorm for West Virginia Friday afternoon off the GFS. At the same time, back-end energy's flying through. And really, these are two separate areas of energy. They really are. But it's kind of all associated with this upper level low. But it shows the threat of some snow showers, snow flurries flying around northern Alabama, Huntsville, Florence, Alabama. You guys could certainly see it. Tupelo, always am hesitant to say the name of that town, but Tupelo, Mississippi, Nashville. We keep this going, guys, and it shows some flurries and it's a little bit of snow making its way all the way up against the mountains of Tennessee, North Carolina, even some flurries flying around, snow showers for the Cumberland Plateau for sure. I think that's an area that could squeeze in some accumulating snow, even if it's just a half an inch to an inch. North Georgia, but I mean, look up here in West Virginia, all-out snow event going on, and it actually gets shunted kind of south. So then we're waking up Saturday morning, snow's flying around in like the Tri-Cities, Tennessee area. This is not a forecast, one run of the GFS. Snow flying around in just the mountainous regions of North Carolina. But look at this. As we're waking up Saturday morning, we got a little bit of light snow. I don't think this will just be one big blue blob on radar. I think this will probably be in the form of some snow flurries, maybe some snow showers, if it was to happen this way on the GFS in the Piedmont, North Carolina. It's very interesting. And it tries to get going as a low tries to develop. Snow still flying around the southern Alps, but look at this little rain-snow mix Saturday afternoon in North Carolina. Is that a forecast? It's not. It's not. It's just one model run, okay? And, if we were to look at the European model, which only goes out on the 06Z 69 hours here, the European is liking the idea now. It's a little bit more aggressive from the overnight runs of an area right underneath this upper level low, bringing its own cold air of light snow riding through Tennessee. This does try to make it all the way into northern Alabama. Cold air will be an issue, especially if it arrives in the middle of the afternoon on Friday. But, I definitely think there'll be some rain snow showers flying around Friday. I mean, maybe even as early as Thursday evening for the Mid-South. And, it doesn't really show the same scenario as the GFS for North Carolina and Virginia, but we'll have to watch for sure. Blend of all models, there it is for Missouri. It does like accumulating snow for a large portion of Missouri. And accumulating snow doesn't mean 6 inches of snow. It could mean just, a half an inch to an inch. A half inch of snow will make the ground white. It will. It's throwing some love to St. Louis. I'll be very interested to see what happens in Kansas City to St. Louis with this event. I will. Shows a little bit of Tracy mounts for you folks and brain fart in the state in Illinois. Tries to throw an inch or so. The National Weather Service forecast for this area, we'll have to go to this. It's not as aggressive. It wants to throw a couple inches into southern sections of Iowa. It is trying to give about an inch of snow around Kansas City, but just, like a dusting, trace amounts from St. Louis, and just trace amounts, maybe a half an inch. It's not liking, but it is starting to show up in the Cumberland Plateau. We'll show you that here in a second. In fact, here's your second now. Let's go on and look at it. And it only goes out 73 hours, so it's still snowing in some of these areas. A lot of these areas, it's just getting going. This is only Friday morning, so this isn't the entire duration of the event. But, it's already showing 2/10, 3/10, a half an inch of snow in the Cumberland Plateau. Like I said, that's enough to just be a teaser. It's a small event, but it's something, right? But you look at the blend of all models, and it could still be snowing in these areas at that time. In fact, I think it could be. I think it will be. But we're getting in, we'll take out the entire duration of this event. We'll go all the way out through the morning of New Year's Eve. And, a few inches of snow is looking likely in the mountains of North Carolina and in Tennessee. If you pick this weekend to go to the mountains coming up, I think you picked a pretty good weekend. I think you'll actually have snow flying around. I think it'll be a very wintry last weekend of 2023. I really do. And the blend of all models really showing you guys some love in the Cumberland Plateau. Does show some love a little bit in Alabama and North Georgia, and even delivers 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, a half an inch of snow in areas of central areas of Tennessee. And I know this isn't a blockbuster event, guys. I get it. I know some people's like, man, this isn't nothing. But the further south you get, the more that like just half an inch of snow is a big deal. I think you guys know that. Pull out all your bread and milk and all that good stuff. But just small amounts in Kentucky, southern areas of Indiana, but it's enough to make it feel like winter again, which it feels like we had lack of lately. I think more snow than this could fall in West Virginia. We just got to watch. Now, what about this event in the Northeast? We had a segment about this last night. As this energy gets going, there's a chance that, as we're getting into a Saturday morning, we got snow falling in the Southern Alps region. Snow could be falling as far north as, Southwest PA. But, the GFS, the latest GFS, still likes another low developing and then rain switching to snow in the southern New England area. Snow flying around in Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine. We just have to see if this is going to turn into a bigger event. And light moderate snow still flying around, trying to inch to Boston around Saturday afternoon, and then it pulls out. Definitely not as big of an event as what the GFS was showing yesterday. And, we kind of expect this to change a lot. Euro, you start cranking it up Friday morning here in the next few days, and we got an all-out winter weather event going on for New Hampshire, certainly Maine. It wants to throw the idea, because you got a low right here, warm air aloft, as more so ice in the coastal regions and like an hour or two inland, down east areas of Maine. And yes, we will try to figure out, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, if this becomes a bigger storm for you guys. But, we get into Friday afternoon. This is kind of a weak low, so it's not a lot of heavy precipitation in Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire at all. Mainly light rain. This is all rain for Boston, the big cities. But as this cold air tries to catch up, you can tell it's everywhere. Just a light to maybe at times moderate snow in a Saturday morning, getting into Saturday afternoon. This pulls out. Does not look like a huge event. It doesn't, but we have to watch. And this is the blend of all models. It really just likes Maine for the most part. Few inches of snow. I mean, in some areas, this isn't even going to be enough to pull the winter weather advisory out. I don't think winter storm warning is going to be a thing here, but it does show a little bit of snow down here in the Berkshires and certainly the mountainous regions of Vermont and New Hampshire. And there is a little bit of an ice signal here. So we need to watch a few 100ths of an inch of ice. Maybe somebody gets a 1/10 of an inch. But we're not in range of the National Weather Service forecast for this, so we'll continue to monitor it. After that, we're getting into New Year's morning, January 1st. We're entering 2024. New Year's Eve into New Year's, we could be tracking another system kind of moving out the Gulf. And here it comes. Cold air trying to catch up with this, and the latest GFS run has a rain switch into snow event for areas of Kentucky. And guys, we're inside 1 week of this, so this is totally warranted to talk about. It really is. There's a lot coming up. Rain switch into snow in Kentucky, heavy snow too. You got this big area of energy kind of swinging down from the north. It's tapping into some Gulf moisture, and here it goes. It's still not a lot of cold air involved. I want to reiterate this again. This pattern coming up, though it is a pattern flip, it's switch, kind of going into a new pattern, I should say more. It's not a very cold pattern. If you live deep in the Southeast, the deep South, you know that some of the best winters you miss a lot. You get a lot of cold, chilly rains. But eventually you hit on down the road most of the time. And this is kind of one of those winters. I think this is how it's going to happen. So this is a great example of this. We're getting into the morning of the 2nd, guys, and I really like this area of energy. I think this will get talked about a lot more here in the coming days, especially once we get past this event later this week. But, I mean, this is running right at the heels of this light snow event for the Mid-South. And we stop at, Tuesday morning. We have a big-time mountain snow event ongoing. It's snowing also in Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, areas of southeast Indiana. And to keep this going, this tries to become a bigger system, but this looks like a big-time mountain event. I mean, even getting outside the mountains in Virginia. Now, I know you're thinking for my folks in Georgia, the Carolinas, Mitch, this ain't going to do nothing for us. Well, no, it's not. If the low is crossing right over land, this would probably just be a chilly rain. It really would. So we got to watch this. I think something's going to happen in this time frame, getting into New Year's Day, the 2nd into the 3rd, and sure enough, you got a 990 millibar low right over the Delmarva region. This is just going to bring rain, but then this tries to bring some heavy snow into the 3rd for southern New England, and then that's all she wrote. What about the Euro? Okay, here comes the Euro. Here comes this energy swinging in. Could bring a snowy potential, just 1 mile to run. Kind of New Year's Day for areas of the Ohio Valley, Mid-Atlantic. Got some snow flying around. We're in the 1st of January, and here comes the low. A little bit later. But the reason that's why it's not a bigger system. It comes in later. It's not able to phase with any of this northern stream energy, and this is just kind of a low, kind of surging through. Nothing can pull it up, but there's enough cold air diving down to where you have some snow showing up for northern Alabama, northern Mississippi, and areas of Tennessee. So the Euro shows it too. And to me, this tells me if this could phase with any kind of northern stream energy, guys, this would be a bigger event a little bit further north, Tennessee, Kentucky. I still don't think we got a cold enough pattern for any kind of winter weather southeast of the southern Appalachian Mountains, like South Carolina, outside the mountainous regions of North Carolina, deep into Georgia, deep into Alabama, like Birmingham to Atlanta, Augusta, Columbia to Charlotte to Raleigh. I don't think this pattern is going to favor any winter weather for us, but it's kind of a tone setter. It's important to look at everything. I think that if the Euro happened, we're going to get a cold rain. There's a lot of chilly to cold rains and El Niños in the deep south. A lot. But this swings through, and it's close, guys. And you look at the GFS ensembles for this. This is kind of the signal for that event that comes in. You know, here it comes. You can see, and this is only the 24-hour snow, so it's kind of in 24-hour intervals as it moves here in time. And there's that signal around the 1st and the 2nd. There it is. Tennessee, Kentucky, even northern Alabama, and even getting into North Carolina and Tennessee, but it's a bigger signal for sure for the Appalachian Mountains, and then this heads on, and then here comes another signal coming in behind it. We got to watch that. There's another signal coming in behind it. Could be a bigger signal, and that's what I'm talking about, guys. There's a lot of energy flying around. If we look at actual energy on the screen here, and it's so easy to get all this confused. Here comes this upper level low swinging through. It's more so just an upper level low. It doesn't really connect with anything. There it is trying to connect with something here, trying to deliver a winter weather event for the Northeast. That swings through. Here comes our next system off the GFS that delivers a big snow for areas of the Appalachian Mountains and areas of even some snow for the Mid-South. Here comes that northern stream energy. Here comes some southern stream energy. They kind of begin to connect right into here. And this turns into a big event for the 1st into the 2nd of January. And look at it. See the big vibrant colors right here, the reds and the oranges and the yellows? That is a big system right over the eastern U.S. And then even behind that, here comes another area of energy. And there's no phasing there, so it's nothing big. But then right here, as we're getting past 10 days out, another area of energy. But it doesn't look like it phases with anything. In fact, I don't even think I've looked at that one yet, but I'm actually interested to look at it. We'll do it here on the fly here. Oof, yeah. See, a lot of cold air trying to dive down past 10 days. And sure enough, you get 288 hours out. It shows another event off the GFS, and that is a beautiful placement of a low pressure for something more substantial for the Southeast, but the cold air has not got in. That's why it's all rain for Atlanta to Columbia and all those places. But man, it tries to do something for North Carolina. And this is just the stuff you got to watch. Okay, and then after that, could warm up. I'm still thinking we could have a warm up in mid-January, but we'll talk about that when it needs to be talked about. No reason to getting that far ahead. That's all I got. God bless all y'all. Have a wonderful day, and I'll probably have another video this evening. God bless.